Hi everyone, welcome back to AFTV and welcome back to AFTV News Daily. Now, as always, because Arsenal are probably the most, entertaining club in the world, we've got a lot to go through. Before we do check out the description below for links to AFTV VIP, where you get all sorts of exclusive content. It's a 2-week free trial and then $2.99 a month after that. Lots of great content on there. Cecil doing all his football challenges, taking on other influencers, personalities, fans, whatever you want to call it, and he actually loses a few, which is great fun for all of us, especially because I'm one of the people who beat him, and all sorts of other exclusive content live on the app, so do go check that out. Link is in the description below. As you can see, I'm learning. I don't know why I keep starting these streams on my own. I think I'm being joined by the Don himself, but as we know, yes, I'm just getting word he's just finishing now, because he's been covering the games at the moment. I think Holland have been playing. I've been working, so I've not really been able to pay too much attention. I think they beat Macedonia 3-0. Yes, we've been covering every single Euros game on the Don Robbie channel, and we'll continue to do so for the remainder of the tournament. So what have we got to chat about today? As you can see in the headline, is there a second bid for Emile Smith-Rowe incoming? We're going to chat about that, why these rumours are out there, if it's true, if it's not. We're going to have a little look at Lokonga, the latest with him, because it is moving on quite quickly. I'm more confident than ever that he is going to be a player, and a potential new shirt number for Thomas Partey. And look who's in the building.
I'm here, man. I made it.
He's made it.
Fresh off of the Don Robbie show. We were doing watch along to the game. North Macedonia versus Netherlands. Yeah. Netherlands winning by 3-0. And Ukraine just got knocked out by Austria as well. Well, they're not knocked out officially yet, but I think they're going to be out.
Right, so did Austria get the...
Austria won 1-0.
Okay.
6 points, definitely through.
Third place in that group apparently faces Italy. So how many points have Ukraine got? Something like that, yeah.
I don't think Ukraine have only got 3 points. So.
Oh, wow, it could be touch and go for them.
I don't think they'll make it.
Fair enough. Wow, it's
that Marcel Sabitzer, again, looking at his display again for Austria.
Yeah. Is that who should replace Smith-Rowe if he's off?
No, this Smith-Rowe thing ain't going.
I know, I agree.
I mean, this is Villa again. Honestly, they're taking a piss out of us.
Yeah, I know, they are.
They are. They're like, they're taking the absolute mick out of Arsenal. Aston Villa.
We won't just take the players you want, we'll also take your players.
Yeah, and then we'll come back for more. Jeez, it's unbelievable. Can you imagine what's going on?
Look, but it is worth.
That's where we are.
I know. It is hard, and it's hard to talk about, but it's our job too. So we're going to try and just look into what's going on here. I don't tend to give too much. I don't like fueling fires when rumours just rumours. I don't like to give them more attention than they deserve. But we do know for a fact that the £25 million bid was made. Mm-hmm. That was a weird one because we're thinking, why would they do that? Obviously, Arsenal are going to reject that. What's kind of their angle here? And then the rumours have been sort of emerging today that a second bid of £30 million was going to go in. So I feel like there's a discussion to be had there also because he's not signed his new contract yet. Romana says it's very close. I think another journalist says it's not very close. There's kind of a lot of confusion around Smith-Rowe and his situation, what's going on. What do you kind of make of it all? Is it just kind of standard stuff, agents maybe trying to see?
Could be agents. I don't know. It depends whether you see it. I mean, the last offer wasn't agents. It was a solid offer from Aston Villa for 20 million. I think it's 20 million to try and buy Smith-Rowe. If they come in for 30 million, that's a lot of money they're offering. I'd expect that to be rejected. But it does test the ambition of Arsenal and of the board. You know what I mean? That, young player, hot prospect who's, had a great season, great half a season last year. Yep. The Arsenal are saying, well, no, we're not selling him. We're keeping hold of this guy because we see him as the future of the club. But, it's just, Aston Villa coming in and testing Arsenal's resolve like this. It's embarrassing the word because we haven't sold a player, but it just shows you where we're at the moment. That this is the thing. Teams are catching up.
I know.
Teams are catching up, right? You know what I mean? That, once upon a time they wouldn't even dream because they'd be like, well, Smith-Rowe's never going to look at us.
Yeah, I know.
But all of a sudden they're starting to look at decent proposition. You know what I mean? You look at some of the players they've got.
And that's kind of the worrying thing. And I mean this. Look, I know there's probably some Villa fans thinking, we didn't do much better than them last season, and they beat us to Buendia, so they probably won't appreciate me talking about them the way I'm about to. But it's not like with Saka where you heard Liverpool were interested, potentially big clubs abroad. With all due respect, I mean, Aston Villa is categorically, as things stand, not a step forward for Smith Rowe, really. I mean, maybe you can talk about ambition or anything. So the fact that we're kind of even in this predicament just sounds crazy. To lose out to Buendia, but also for the contract not to be signed, and hearing that, Villa are sort of looking to keep tempting Arsenal and Smith Rowe with these bids. I'm concerned because I don't like kind of how that looks for the club. I'm not concerned that Smith Rowe is going to go. I just don't like the look for the club.
Do you think as well, if you're a Villa fan, you might be a bit concerned because you're thinking, why are they so hard after Smith Rowe? We've brought in Buendia. We got a good midfield. McGinn, Douglas Luiz. Is it a signal that Grealish is on his way out and they're trying to find a player? They know that they're going to get a load of money in for Grealish, and they're trying to find a player to replace Grealish when he's gone. That's what it's looking like for me, for Villa fans. So whilst it's a bit embarrassing at the moment that, and there might be some Villa fans rubbing their hands together and having a laugh at Arsenal, I think what it's signalling is that Grealish could be on his way out come the end of the Euros. So
I completely agree.
I wouldn't laugh too quick if I was them. But, listen, for Arsenal now, this is a big moment. This is big for Arsenal. They've got to show some ambition this transfer window. We've heard these rumours about 250 million to spend.
Yeah, Turkish had his bit to say, didn't he?
And Turkish is right. To me, I just can't see it. Yeah. Right? Until I see, I think White Yardie said it. We did the Bias Premier League show today, and he said, I want to see it. Yeah. I want to see it first. And I agree with that. When I see that 250 million, when Stan Kroenke gives us a visit to the vault and he opens it up and you see all the gold bars in there or something like that.
The thumbnail did look good, didn't it? Yeah.
I want to see it because I don't believe it.
Yeah.
I don't believe it. They've never, in their history since they've been at this club, spent even half of that, even close to that. So where are they going to get £250 million to spend right now? I just want to see a realistic transfer window where Arsenal go out there and get the type of players that we need.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you. Mukhtar says Grealish is leaving to United. I've got to say, with them getting Sancho, I think that kind of rules them out of the Grealish signing. But listen, if anyone can sort of pull off two, it's Man United. I think it might be off to City, personally, Grealish.
Well, they made moves to Harry Kane today.
100 million today. Yeah. And actually, we do want to sometimes touch on what our rivals are doing on this show as well. £100 million bid. Are you surprised Spurs turned it down?
No, I think Spurs are going to try and hold out and get as much money as they can, and it's an opening offer. And they're
opening offer, isn't that amazing?
£100 million. He's a proven striker in the Premier League. He scores goals every season, and they need a striker. Yeah. Man City. All this, it looks like Pep's finally given up on the false number 9 thing. Yeah. The thing is as well, he has got a sort of way in which he drops deep as well. Pep will like all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, he will, 100%.
Yeah, I think City will come back in for him. I get the feeling that this is the season Kane goes. Yeah. Why is he going to stay at Tottenham?
I don't know. I'm worried
to play. You're rated as one of the best strikers in the world, and you're playing in the what do they call it again? The Conference League.
Yeah.
Why? It's an embarrassing.
I think Levy might price him out. I really do.
Yeah, well, he might do, but I think it's embarrassing for a player like that. And apparently, there's an agreement between. They shook on it, is what they said. That they shook on it, Levy and him, that he could go this season. But I think shaking on it with Daniel Levy.
I'm not sure
absolutely no way you're going to trust that.
Yeah, he had his hands behind his fingers crossed behind his back. Yeah, of course. Yeah.
So, but I think he's gone this. I think he's gone this summer. They're in disarray at the moment, Tottenham. I mean, we think we're bad. They're in absolute disarray.
Listen, we have.
I mean, it's good to see. They ain't got a manager, right? They don't know. No manager seems to want the job. And now, their best players looking like leaving. And there's even little rumours that, Son is saying, boy, I'm not too sure if I want to stick around as well. So they're in total disarray.
Yeah, very
but
true.
Who cares?
All the
better.
Let's get
we get our stuff. See, this is the opportunities there. If they're in disarray, that's a chance. That's a team that we can get past.
Yeah, very true. Got a comment here from Abdi Rahman who says, Robbie working hard, G. He's rated Robbie. Yeah.
You got to put it in, man.
Yeah.
It has been a long day. It's been a long day today, but you know what? Listen, I love it. I love doing this, so it's all good.
Absolutely. Shady says Sabitzer price will go up after Euros. You mentioned
100%. This is the thing. You've got to try and get some of these players before the Euros. Sabitzer, his prices could go through the roof because to me, I just look at him and say, whether it be Arsenal, whether if you're a Premier League club, he's perfect.
Yeah.
Because he's a leader on the pitch. He's good. He's solid. He's just a very, very good player.
Yeah.
And be perfect for Arsenal's midfield.
I like him a lot. CJ Legend 89 says, I think Arsenal should get rid of Holding instead of Saliba. You only bought Holding for 2 million from Bolton. You can sell him for 15 million plus. Yeah,
I agree. Based off of it, not really Holding. I don't think he did much. He made a few mistakes last season, but he didn't do much wrong. He was fairly consistent. I'll just look on it and say, if one has to go, you go with the younger guy that you bought in. That's the future. He's bought in for £27 million.
Yeah.
How this kid is being treated at the moment, I don't like it. I don't like it. You know what I mean? It's like he's not had a chance. Can he have a chance, please?
I completely agree. Listen, I completely agree with you. We've not had a chance to talk too much about Ben White, and I don't want to. There's not really been an update from today. But does the Ben White, the rumours, the suggestion we might sign him, does that tell you that Saliba is in Arteta's plans, or is Arteta?
To me, I think that says that Saliba's not in his plans.
Really?
I've heard rumours that people saying that he would still be in. Ben White can play as a right back as well.
Yeah.
But why would you go and buy a right back?
Can I play devil's advocate though? Maybe Arteta is trying to have that big club mentality that we want everyone at that club to have, and is actually saying, people are going to get on me immediately, and maybe just saying, no, you want to compete for the very biggest honours, you've got to have 4 top centre-backs. Maybe that's his thinking.
4 top centre-backs?
Well, Ben White, Saliba, Gabriel, and if you want to put Mari in there, maybe.
Right.
Maybe?
I just look on it and say to myself, yeah, but you just missed out Rob Holding as well.
Yeah, well,
so that's 5.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. That's 5. So one's going to have to go.
Yeah.
Who goes?
I know, and I've got to be honest. After giving Holding a new contract and keeping him back from leaving last summer, you've got to feel Arteta likes him.
Yeah.
So yeah, Michael says, James, we need a right back, a CDM, a cam, and a second left back. An absolute must. Do I agree? I'd throw in another central midfielder. I know it sounds crazy, but. Yeah, I agree with all those positions, but I mean, I think you need a Xhaka replacement, you need a Torreira replacement, you need a Guendouzi replacement, assuming Willock's not going to be one of those. And actually that brings us really nicely on to the Albert Sambi Lokonga update. So a lot of journalists reported the same kind of stuff, a lot of great, very reliable journalists out in Belgium as well, saying that it's a matter of time. The deal's going to happen. The personal terms are agreed. It's a case of a couple million here and there that Arsenal and Anderlecht are sort of scrapping over. Listen, I hope we don't blow this now, but how do you feel about that as a potential first signing?
Like it as a signing.
Yep,
me too. What I've read about him looks a real prospect. Prospect, though. Remember that word that I just said, right? So, up and coming prospect. Again, I still think we need another midfielder in that area.
Yeah.
Right, I'd still be going for like a Bissouma as well as this guy.
Yeah.
We have to wait to see if that's, do we have the money to do more than one? We've been linked with Bissouma, we've been linked with Frank Kessie, with all these sort of players. I don't know.
Yeah.
Do we have the money to get it done? Because if you're moving on Xhaka, which he needs to move on, time is up for Xhaka. He's been here a long time, hasn't really done it. If you're moving on Xhaka, he's a very experienced midfielder. He's captain of Switzerland at the moment at Euros. Very, very experienced player. You're bringing in a 21-year-old kid who's a prospect. And he's got to hit the ground running. You look at the first 3 games that we've got. Brentford away, Chelsea at home, Man City away. Do you want to throw a kid into that?
Yeah, that's a good point.
Or do you want to ease him in? So, to me, We need an experienced player. That's a vital position. That, especially when you play like that sort of holding midfielder, that sort of sitting midfielder, deep line. That's a very important position because once they get past you, they're in.
It's true,
right? So I'm not against the signing, and it'd be a great signing as a young player, prospect. I like the profile of the player, but is he going to be able to come straight in and do the job that we need? That's what I worry about.
Well, I hear that. And Arteta's always liked seniority. He's always liked his kind of more experienced players. Yeah, wanted to keep Luiz another year. Obviously, gave the big contract to Aubameyang. Placed a lot of importance on Lacazette, even if he brought him in and out. Mari, who he brought in at the age of 25, 26. He likes his kind of more senior players. Willian, Cedric, all around the age of 30 when he brought them in. So I know what you mean. Bringing in Lokonga doesn't feel to me like we are adding to the first team yet. I mean, in a year or two, he might absolutely.
The Conga is a bit like a Guendouzi.
Yeah.
And even though we like Guendouzi, we know that, say, when Guendouzi came in, he weren't ready yet. Even though he showed a lot of cojones, he never backed out from anything. But he weren't ready to be that guy on his own there, was he?
No, absolutely spot on.
So this is what worries me. You know what I mean? If he's coming in as the soul. And it's too early to say because there's a long way to go in the transfer window. But we need a holding midfielder.
Yeah,
for me, one with experience. I look over at Brighton and see Basuma. I'm like, perfect fit.
I'll take a few of those Brighton players. Lamptey, Ben White, Basuma, and Matt Ryan. Actually, I'll take
perfect fit. And the thing is what kind of with the Ben White one. Where I look at it and say, yeah, you're right. He's a quality player. He's going to get better. But again, when you look at the profile. If he keeps progressing how he is progressing, £50 million or £45 million in 2 years' time will look like a snip. He'll be worth double that.
Yeah.
But is that what we need right now if we've got a limited budget? Maybe we have got 250 million to spend.
Well, I thought that picture on the buyer's thumbnail, I thought that was a secret picture I thought you got hold of. You've been around Stan's house.
Maybe he's got it.
Maybe he has. Elias sends a super chat in. Thank you for super chat. Says, Don Robbie, this is a question or more a statement, saying, get righty. I see Ian Wright. We want to see his ideas on transfers.
Okay.
Wonder what Ian Wright would say right now. Probably thinks we need to.
Probably be saying the same sort of things we're saying, but Wright's a very busy guy, man. Talk to him. He's cool, but he's everywhere, right? He's doing the Euros at the moment, so.
Kapil Super Chat says, love your work as a United fan. Thank you very much. Love to you. Hate your club. Love to you. Thank you.
Hate club, love you.
But he says Arsenal should go all out and offer crazy wages to Ramos. The team is lacking a leader.
I'll tell you what. I said the other day, I'd take Ramos.
Yeah, so would I.
I'd take Sergio Ramos for 2 seasons, come in, be that experienced player, have a bit of bite to Arsenal,
Winner.
But
it's a cliche, but he's
I just can't see him coming to a club like Arsenal where there's no European football. In the twilight of his career, he wants to go somewhere. He's seen Thiago Silva last year go win the Champions League. I see him going to a team like that. I think he's suited to a team like even a PSG or something.
I think he'll go to PSG.
Or maybe, but it's definitely still good enough to play in the Premier League.
Oh, 100%. I mean, really, the whole collapse with Real Madrid. You hear what happened? He negotiated for this. They offered him something else. Eventually, he said yes. It turned out he'd missed the deadline. I mean, I imagine treating 16 years.
Listen, he's on high wages. Real Madrid are in serious financial trouble.
Yeah,
that's the reality at the moment. There's a lot of teams like Real Madrid, like Barcelona.
Yeah,
right. I heard at Barcelona's. I'm sure it's Barcelona, £862 million in debt. 862 years and years and years of spending way beyond their means. And now, we're seeing that they're in ruin financially. And if you look at it, you see them not, Barcelona, Memphis Depay, free transfer. Aguero, free transfer. They're not spending.
Eric Garcia as well from Man City.
Eric Garcia from Man City.
They wanted Wijnaldum.
Yeah. Free transfers. They're not spending. They ain't got no money.
Yeah.
These teams have got to let players go. I think there's a chance for Arsenal to get Odegaard.
Yeah.
I really do. I know
there is.
Yeah, I just got a funny feeling that, clubs like Real Madrid, they need that big signing every year, but they've got no money.
Yeah.
So they might have to let one go to be able to bring one in, just to appease their fans. But
Very
you know,
true.
and this is why I feel, you know, you see them Barcelona, Real Madrid, they're hanging on to the Super League because that's the meal ticket, but it ain't gonna happen.
Yeah,
get over it. Ain't gonna happen.
Do you see they were? Who was it? I think Laporta was claiming that Liverpool and United were kind of the instigators of it.
Yeah,
you know, but I think there's going to be a lot of that passing the blame.
But he sounds totally deluded, and he's obviously very peed off that all the English clubs backed out of it.
Yeah,
you know, but.
Yeah. Krishna says, thanks again for the super chat, says, news has come out now that Arsenal need to pay close to 80 million to sign Madison. Will it happen? Well, actually, I'm going to follow that question up with so Madison for, say, 60 to 80 million, or Odegaard for, let's call it 30 to 40.
I like Madison as a really good player.
Top player.
And
Top player.
80 million, though, is way too much. But then if you're Leicester, you want the top money.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You want the top money. He's again another proven Premier League player. I think he'd be brilliant for Arsenal. But 80 million, no.
Yeah.
Go and take that money, and there's other players out there we can get. Odegaard would be a great signing for me.
I'd love to get Odegaard, but
I liked his creativity, and I think I look at a player and I'm like, he will get better.
Yeah. Yeah.
He will get better at Arsenal. He will be better. Unless he's injured or something, he will get better.
Yeah.
So I'm not. I think I wouldn't be against Odegaard, but 80 million. There's many other players Arsenal could go out there and go and look at that Locatelli. Even though I know he's a bit deeper, plays in a bit of a deeper position, but there's other players you can get.
I think I agree with that. Listen, I'd love Madison. I would never. It's a bit like the Ben White deal as well. If we buy Ben White for 50, if we buy Madison for 80, I'll wait till the end of the window before I start saying we should have spent money here. We should have spent. I'll wait. In their own right, I'd be very excited about those players playing for Arsenal Football Club. But as you've been saying, we're not City that we can just go, 50 mil him, 80 mil him. I hope there's a plan in place, and I think Edu and Arteta they do feel more confidence than Raul Sanyehi and the team there who just seem quite trigger happy. 72.
Got to get the job done though. They've got to this is a huge window for both of them. And as I said, I keep referring to that start that we've got to the season. Mm-hmm. If we ain't got it together by then, we could be sitting on the back of 3 defeats.
Yeah,
they've got to get the right players in place. Let's get off to a good start.
Yeah,
and it's tough to.
It is
because it's a really tough start.
Yeah,
the month of August. You know what I mean? So, it's big. It's huge.
I agree.
Madison for 80 million is too much, though.
Yeah, I think I agree with that. Slick V Media says Lokonga can be like Bellingham. Who knows? Yeah, fair point.
Could be.
Nogasen says let's try Dumfries right back, Mitchell left back, Odegaard as the 10, and Basuma as the holding midfielder.
Dumfries has looked very good in the tournament. Like to see more of him.
You like to warn us about tournaments, though.
I say it all the time about tournaments, man. There's been many a player that's played in a tournament that's looked brilliant, and then when he gets to the club, you like, who's that? Is that him?
Yeah.
So
it's a very good point. Minty Green with a super chat, thank you very much, says, given that we can't sell everyone we want, who are the priorities? Also, Saliba must be more to this than we know, could be trying to protect his value. Okay, so I think basically saying that there might be more to the Saliba thing than we know.
It's got to be more to it than we know, because I've never seen nothing like this.
Yeah, it is incredible.
The last person I can remember is when we signed that guy Park.
Oh yeah.
Remember when we signed him, and I was like, I've always, to this day,
Young Park.
Yeah, if I could ask Arsene Wenger one thing, it'd be like, can you please explain to me why we signed him?
Yeah.
He didn't play.
Yeah.
We signed Joel Campbell.
Yeah. And he was
didn't play.
He played.
Yeah. So Saliba's another one, but the Saliba one's even more baffling than those.
Yeah.
Because those was signed for little bits of money. This was a big signing, £27 million investment. We've seen his partner that he played with when he was at St Etienne go to Leicester and have a storming season.
Yeah.
And he was rated higher than Fofana.
I know. It's incredible, isn't it?
We then see him go, not get a chance, go out on loan, do well on the loan. Where everyone's like, hey, what a player. And they're still now looking at Ben White. It's really baffling to me. There's something's up with this. It's weird.
Yeah.
And I'm just looking at it, I'm like, priorities for me are other positions. Don't get me wrong, I'm not against getting Ben White. I think he's a great prospect as well. But there's other priorities that we need to get first.
Yeah.
And I'm not hearing the movements on them.
Yeah.
You know,
I think I agree with you. If the news was Arsenal are about to spend 50 million on Ben White, they are also in talks with Bissouma and Madison, let's say, I think we'd all be saying, cool, I see the cake and I see the icing. But at the moment, it only feels like the icing, and it's
the fact that the kid's never had a chance, had a chance to play.
Yeah, Saliba, yeah.
You know, one friendly against Milton Keynes Dons, MK Dons.
We had one heavy touch, and that was it.
I'm just like,
I know, I feel
so unfair for him, man. And I gutted for him because he's an Arsenal fan.
Takuma Asano is another one. Sorry, that people are making.
That's another one.
Yeah.
Remember him?
Yeah.
Like, he's had that celebration like this.
God, they're very few. Lucas Perez, I know he played
but you know, these players, those players that we all mentioning, they were bought in for small amounts of money.
Yeah.
So they're bought out. Maybe they come in. He's all right. Send him on loan.
Yeah.
This guy's been big investment. £27 million on a 19-year-old is huge money.
Yeah.
And he can't get a game.
Rated by a very sort of, I don't know if prestigious is the word, but a reputable football scouting website as the best young centre-back in the world last summer. You know?
Not according to Mikel Arteta.
And we had Bukayo Saka in that top 10 of youngsters as well.
Honestly.
I know, incredible. Sam says, Partey times Camavinga times Aouar, dream midfield. Thoughts?
Good and balanced, because they still need a holding player there.
Yeah.
I think Camavinga is I've seen him play many a times. Love him as a player. Can't believe he's that age.
Yeah.
Plays like a player 10 years older than what his age is. But it's the same type of player like Partey.
Yeah.
Very similar.
Yeah.
You're still going to need a holding player.
Has he got a bit more flair than Partey? I've not seen too much of Camavinga.
I think they're very similar.
Yeah.
I think they're very similar.
Yeah.
Camavinga younger, maybe got a bit more flair.
Yeah.
Great prospects. Going to be one of the.
His first ever goal for France.
And his temperament at that age. I mean, great player. I'm more sort of. He's very similar to Pogba to me.
Yeah.
Right. But him and Partey again. Listen, I love all these names. I love these dreams. But to me, I'm gonna be quite boring this summer and go for the positions that we need.
I hear that.
Sacrifice that we're not in good European football. The squad can be smaller. We need the priorities first.
I hear that.
Go and get the priorities, sort that out, and then come with a glamour signing at the end, and I'll be happy.
Yeah.
Priorities first.
Yeah.
Defensive midfielder, right back, and central attacking midfielder. Yeah. Those three create. And when I say central attacking midfielder, that doesn't mean someone's going to be really creative.
Yeah.
Remember what we lacked last year. That's what I want everybody to remember. We lacked creativity. And for years, we've lacked a proper defensive midfielder. And last year, we lacked a right back. When Tierney was fit, left side,
bombing down, yeah.
Right side, nothing.
Yeah.
Right? So if we can fix those things, who knows what we could do? Tottenham are in the decline. No European football. We can creep up there.
Yeah.
So get the priorities done first.
Yeah.
I hear all these things. This striker, that. You know what? Worst comes to the worst, we've got strikers.
Yeah.
I think Aubameyang will be better next season. You've got Martinelli, Balogun, Lacazette if he stays.
Yeah.
It's not deal with the priorities first. That's what I want. I want the priorities dealt with first this time around.
Yeah, agree with all that. Right, we've got some super chats to end the show on, but just before we do, some more news. It's a few journalists teasing that Partey is going to get the number 5 this summer.
Seen that.
From number 18 to number 5. Maybe he'll start finding his range in front of goal again.
Players say this night that they've got their lucky numbers and they don't want to wear this number and that number. Maybe.
Maybe.
I'll tell you what, he played better than last season. He had a poor season in my books.
He showed flashes though.
So he showed flashes.
He's a quality player, but
showed flashes. Injuries really. We know reasons why.
Yeah.
Next season, I think there's a few players in that team need a big pre-season. He does. Aubameyang does.
Yeah.
Those two players in particular. Need a good pre-season where they work hard and rediscover their form.
Yeah.
And if you can get them firing, get a defensive midfielder in, right back, as I said, creative player to create chances for them, and get Pepe playing as well. That's the next thing next season. I want to see Mikel Arteta give confidence to Pepe.
Yeah.
If Pepe was playing at the Euros, we'd all be saying, "What a player! Get him!" And then we got a player like that, and then he'd be on the bench.
Yeah.
He's got to play. Martinelli has to play more games next season. Mm-hmm. Has to.
I agree.
So
fundamentally, last bit of news: Medley, Coyle, and McGuinness, 3 players that have come through the Arsenal academy. Didn't really get too much of a chance in the first team. They have left the club. I believe it's free transfers. I wish I had the details on where they've gone.
I think Medley, they're saying he's going to Belgium. I think it's
yes,
Ostend
I think
or
McGuinness
something.
has gone to Cardiff. I think.
Yeah. Medley. Always it's got all the attributes. Just never really had his chance, I guess. I mean, Saliba can't get a game. He's probably looking at thinking, I heard they wanted to give him a new contract as well, but he's probably looking at Saliba can't get a game. What chance have I got?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So he's right to go off and try and play football.
Yeah.
And wishing him all the best. Any of those players. You see, the thing is when you come through an academy like Arsenal, it sets you in good stead. You may not make it at Arsenal, but you can still get a really good move.
Yeah.
And maybe he goes over to a team like Ostend in Belgium, puts in some good work, and he'll be back in the Premier League.
Yeah, very, very true. Well, we wish them all the best of luck. Very quickly, Adam Mohammed says, an extra centre-back means I think he said we'll be playing 3 at the back. Sorry, loads of chats coming in, so I just missed it.
Possible. I've seen that with Ben White, maybe, yes, possible.
Yeah. James Strong says, pay 100 for Grealish, keep Laka, buy a right back, buy Basuma, and buy a backup to Kieran Tierney.
Is Grealish going to come to Arsenal with no European football? Do you want to leave from Aston Villa, no European football, and then go to Arsenal with no European football?
Especially when this is the big move of his career.
Yeah, and
now,
you can go to any of those teams that are going to be able to offer you European football and a chance to win silverware. A player like Grealish has to be playing in the Champions League.
Yeah, I agree.
Because you're never going to be considered one of the very best players until you play in Europe.
I agree.
And he's done well. He's done well in the Premier League. What are you going to do up against the very best defenders in the world and midfielders in the world? You're only going to find that out in the Champions League.
Agreed.
So if I was advising him, if I was advisor, I'd advise him to go to Arsenal, but I wouldn't be being honest with him.
Yeah, I understand.
If I'm being honest with him, advising him, I'm saying you've got to go to a Champions League team.
Yeah.
It's a bit like with Harry Kane at the moment, isn't it?
Yeah, I completely agree. There was a super chat that I missed from Mr. Eglinton, who was basically asking about Paulo Dybala, said nearly went to Spurs, potentially one we could look at.
You know what? Everyone's gone quiet on it. I think Juventus were looking to re-sign him.
Right.
It'd be a great signing.
Yeah.
Great signing. That could be a player to replace a Lacazette.
Absolutely.
The only thing that I've seen Arsenal linked with a load of players to replace Lacazette, but again, Lacazette holds the ball up well. He's got to be a player who can do all those things.
Yeah,
I've liked the look of that Isaac.
Yeah,
in the but that price is doubled now.
Oh yeah,
40 euros.
But that's it.
40 euros. They were saying 70 million. Now I'm hearing 35, 40.
Yeah. Yeah.
Plus, he's got this buyout clause. He's got this buyback clause with Dortmund.
Yeah.
So he'd be difficult to get done.
Yeah.
But we need a player that's going to hold the ball up. That if he's asked to play up front on his own, can do it.
Yeah.
And someone who's good in the air as well. We lack that.
I agree. I think Isaac looks perfect, but as you said, what would he cost? Final super chat of the day. Mahesh says, how is signing Ben White not a priority? Saliba is just the age of Saka. He needs to be back up to White or send Saliba on loan to another Premier League team.
Is he forgetting that we got Rob Holding? Right, who's a very experienced right back. Or are we selling Holding?
Yeah.
That's what I want to know. This is why it's all baffling to me. If it was right, Holding's going and it's going to be Ben White and Saliba, cool.
Yeah.
But if we're keeping Holding and selling Saliba and bringing him back, it's baffling to me.
Yeah, I understand. And you forget there's Chambers there who can cover.
Chambers can cover as well.
Yeah, it's very true. Yeah, no, I agree. And also, on that super chat, we spent 27 million. I think that's where Arsenal fans... I think if he was considered one of the best centre-backs and all that, but we bought him in for 5 million. 10 mil.
Like a Guendouzi where you've hardly spent any money on him or something like that.
Yeah.
£27 million, huge investment.
In a summer where we needed centre-backs and 27 mil of our budget went on him, only to send him back on loan. It's pretty extraordinary stuff. There is another one that's just come in. Tor Magna says, I've heard Ben White has played defensive midfielder and did great. Could it be that he is meant to replace Jack as our defensive midfielder and backup centre-back? All for that,
Backup centre, they've got another defensive midfielder at Brighton who actually plays as a defensive midfielder for Basuma.
You triggered him, guys. But I agree.
Well, that's what I'm saying. All these things, he might be able to pay right back. Well, you pay 50 million as a backup.
Yeah.
That's some backup, bro. Yeah, you know what I mean? 50 million. Who were you, Abramovich?
Turkish had a theory that Ben White would be almost like the inverted right back because he's good on the ball, he's got pace.
If you start playing free at the back all the time, I guess, you could.
Maybe.
Is that what Chambers doesn't it? Seriously, I don't. It's baffling to me.
Yeah.
Simple as, you know what I mean? All this. Can we just keep football simple, please, Mikel?
Yeah.
All this getting smart, inverted, this, that. Why not buy a right back?
False nine.
Who plays on the right hand side?
Yeah.
Remember right backs that used to play on the right hand side?
Yeah.
And put tackles in to stop people from getting down that right hand side, and then sometimes got forward with the ball.
Yeah.
Remember defensive midfielders who broke up play, a bit like what they got with Kante and these sort of guys who broke up play and were the destroyers in the team. Remember those players? Yeah? Now all these, he can do this, but he can also do that. Remember that saying, jack of all trades, but master of none.
Pep Guardiola's reinventing football.
Yeah, now
we're on that journey.
Yeah, well, we ain't Pep Guardiola. You know what I mean? And I just put the right, for years we've wanted this, the right players. And we do this every year. We did it when we brought Pepe in. We didn't need Pepe. I like Pepe. Glad we got him. Did we need him, let's be real, that season?
Not for that money. No.
So let's get what we need.
Yeah, I hear that. Thank you again, Peter, for this super chat. Robbie, we need a quality. We need a quality 10, 9, 8, 6 to compete for the top 4. I've got to say that's
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Yeah, fair enough. Madison should be a priority. Look, agree with all that, guys. Thank you so much for getting the super chats in. Thank you very much for joining the stream. Now, Robbie, tell them where they can find you in literally. You're on this next stream, aren't you?
I am on the next stream. I'm going to be jumping in.
Businessman.
On the Don Robbie channel, we're covering all the Euros over there, so make sure you check that out. Sophie Rose, if we can bear hearing her talk about Chelsea anymore, is going to be hosting that show. So, there's that. And then, of course, I'm back in the morning with Transfer Daily. Things are kind of starting to hot up a little bit.
Slowly going there, for sure.
I've been surprised by the amount of activity, even though we haven't brought anyone in, because normally when there's a international tournament on like the Euros, it goes completely dead. Boom. But with Arsenal, they're definitely working hard behind the scenes.
Yeah,
I do think we're going to make quite a few signings this summer. I really do.
I do too, actually.
Just hoping they're the right ones. But we are going to, White Yardie was saying to me this morning, you don't think we'll make any signings? We are. We're going to make a few signings. I think 4 or 5 signings. I really do.
Look, I'm completely with you on that. I actually think it'll be a bigger summer than people are expecting Arsenal to have.
No, it's going to be.
Yeah, absolutely. Guys, do go to the link in the description to get AFTV VIP. That's where you can get all sorts of exclusive shows we don't do on YouTube. They're great fun. We do them on the app. $2.99 a month. There is a 2-week free trial, so go check it out. Guys, thank you very much for joining. Head over to the Don Robbie channel now for the watch along. Another 2 games for them to watch. I was doing it yesterday for the Italy and the Turkey game, and I was celebrating Italy and then looking over at Turkish, getting a bit frustrated. Yeah,
poor Turkish man.
Bless him, man. But anyway, he's in better spirits today. Bless. Anyway, thank you very much for joining, guys, and we'll see you on the next one.